It's an all-white party, as you can see. Welcome to the party. This is a great time to go ahead and subscribe to this channel where we have a candid conversation. So do that right now, and we just want to take the top off with two words: sisterly love.
Ooh, girl, have you heard? What? Oh my gosh. Let's talk about it. Now let's get chatty. Let's talk about it.
Sisterly love is a bond that's unconditional. It's an unbreakable bond. And sibling love is the best kind of love I feel like we will ever have in our lifetime, especially if you have a sibling. That's a deep kind of love that transcends understandings, and sometimes you just don't get the bond, but it's more than a friendship. It's more than a kinship. It's unwavering. It can be unwavering because there's sibling rivalry, sister rivalry, but it can be unwavering if nurtured properly. And one thing we kind of just want to tap into, as we said earlier, was sisterly love. I want to recall an experience of where I believe love was shown. I can remember when I was younger, we loved to put different colors in our hair. Purple, red. So at the church we went to, they would get donations from stores, and it would be weave. And so we would go in and we'd get this colored braiding hair, colored tracks, and we put it in our hair. And as in Lillian would do our hair up. She would do it up. I wish I had a picture. She'd do our hair up. She'd braid it. She'd glue it. She'd sew it down. And it was just an act of love. And we would put them funky colors in our hair. And I just think it's just a bond that we have that transcends time, distance, and trials.
That's interesting. That's what's up.
I think one thing that's underestimated is the impact that people have. That's why that story it's an impact. It created an impact. And through the years, Lillian has done our hair over the years. She's grown our hair, she's teased our hair, she's fluffed our hair, she's sewn our hair, she's braided our hair, she's cut our hair.
Jeez Louise! Anyways, let me jump in, right? So you talking about a bond that can't be broken, but it makes me think of how do we nurture these relationships, because I feel like anything that's not nurtured or maintained or it doesn't have any upkeep can also be lost. And I think that's why it's important for family members, or especially for sisters, to have a minimum some form of communication, respect, and just care for each other. I feel like it doesn't have to be big and grand gestures, but simply just saying hello. I don't know. It's probably like so silly, but to me, I think that's a way that you nurture the relationship, because if I speak to you, you know that I love you, or you know that I care for you, or somehow. It's keeping a line of communication open.
That almost sounds like emotional well-being, like strengthening your emotional well-being, and that's where you can take off your mask. Like a masquerade party, you can take off your mask with your sister, and you can lift each other up. You can be transparent. Yes. You can be open. You can be forthcoming, foretelling, whatever word you want to use. You can be those things with that individual. It's a place where you can release, in my opinion, release your innermost feelings without judgment.
I agree.
Don't judge me. Like, without judgment, you can say those things and release those emotions and those thoughts to that sibling.
Because I think it's easy, because we all have, when it comes to siblings, generally you all have the same background, same experiences.
But it doesn't have to be siblings. It can just be sisters who have formed this sisterhood. This is a
just people like friends.
But a lot of times people go off to college and they'll form a bond with other women, and they become sisters. They form this sisterhood.
But as you were speaking,
the first word that popped in my head was vulnerability. You basically are saying this vulnerability. You are comfortable enough in this place to where you can show some vulnerability. Because everybody else, you may show this one person. Which I was looking at something and I really didn't go into the depths of it. So I don't know exactly what it came from. Is what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to break down is what I don't know where the idea came from. So the theology, the ideology of it, I don't know where it came from. But it said that you show different faces to different people. Like the world see one face, your family and friends see another face. So we're talking about sisterhood. So they will see some vulnerability that the world may not see.
Man, I was just telling my daughter, I was like, so what did we do? We recently went out together as some siblings, and we did a dance, and I was like, that's how it should feel when you're around family. You should feel free. You should be able to leave their presence unscathed, like unhurt, but built up. And we had a good time. And I was like, this is how you should feel. You should leave their presence feeling happy, feeling joyous. And one thing I also believe that it can encourage personal growth, and I think that's something the three of us do relatively well, is we find ourselves leaning towards each other. I wouldn't say that we deal with isolation. I could be wrong, but I don't think we deal with isolation, but we surround if it's not us, we're surrounded by some form of support. But for us, right here, we can create a safe space. We can create growth. So it's like, no, what you doing with that? Like, how long? You said you was going to do that. How long is it going to take you to do that? When you going to complete that? It's like, what is it called? Accountability.
Yes.
Yes.
I love that.
Yeah, we're comfortable enough to hold each other accountable for certain things.
She said certain things. I think that's good because you need an accountability partner sometimes. And then you need someone who's going to, what is that scripture? It says, iron sharpens iron, deep calls to deep. I think when you see siblings oftentimes, they come out of the same womb, but they be so different. Their personality spectrums are so different. But to know you have that support, I have this sibling, I have this person, to support.
And I think even accepting each other's differences as well. And then considering us, because we have age differences here, but we have, even though we're like born in different eras, decades, I want to say that, we still have similar experiences. And then even accepting that I'm different from you and understanding me regardless, or appreciating my difference regardless, even if I move differently than the other, appreciating someone as they are. And I think that's actually something that's really important when it comes to relationships. Accepting the person for how they are, not changing, not trying to transform. I know people. I had a friend of mine. He would always kind of be like, "Trina, don't do this, don't do this." Like, I'd be like, "Okay, don't change me. Don't try to change me to make me into what you want me to be. Like, if this is not what you like, this ain't what it is. Like, then keep it pushing. Like, being able to accept each other and how they are."
Yeah. Huh.
Sometimes that could be a little hard to accept a person, accept a person for how they are, right? And then there's moments where you see like potential for possible growth, and it's like it is a fine line where you be like, you don't want to step over the line to where you try to make that person be somebody that they are not, but you be like, okay, but in this area you can grow a little bit. It could be a little bit of growth. It could be a little bit of refinement. There could be a little bit of going to the next step.
So then having a balance, and also knowing how to communicate these things to each other.
I was about to say something. I feel like, how do you deliver that message when you know, like, hey sis, you need to improve. You came in, you said, I'm glad you did your edges today. Like, how do you deliver those messages to say, hey, like, this ain't working. Hey girl, come out the dark. You've been in your room too long. Like, let's go. Because sometimes you will get a little bit of resistance. But for many of us, our sisters are some of the most important people in our lives. And they've been with us through the thick and thin. and we will always have their back. Like okay, so like if somebody messed with when my children were little, like if somebody messed with my children, my blood would hit and be like, you messing with my baby, you messing with, like, you know, I don't want to say I come for my family, but no, I will stand up for my family. I will stand up for my sisters. Because you're not about to do them dirty. That's not going to happen. But we've been through the thick and thin together. And
Why you laughing? What you think
I'm laughing
about?
because I told Dolores, I was like, don't make me put some pennies in a sock and come over there and beat them up, because I will do it.
so I don't know how we can unlock secrets to deepen our relationship even further. But I think one good step is to recognize the importance of your sister. Like, I need you, you need me. Like, you're important to me. And then we can embrace each other's vulnerability. That's one great key to embracing or strengthening your relationship, increasing it. And then communicate regularly. I think that's important too, is to communicate regularly.
I think that's like the biggest thing though when it comes to communication. I think people don't understand the magnitude of communication in anything. Like it's a root thing, and it's something that you build on. If there's no communication, there's almost like no foundation, there's nothing. Because a lot of times having the same blood doesn't always make you sisters. So having that communication, I think that's the foundation for anything, for sure. Well, I love you, sissies.
Yes, love you too.
I love you. Hope you have an amazing birthday.
So work on building a routine of being honest and thoughtful in your communication when you're helping to build trust with your sisterhood. We are so glad you decided to tune in today. Don't forget to like, comment, all that stuff that Dolores always says. We'll let her have her little spill. No,
Subscribe. You guys don't forget to subscribe.
Yes.
What's that song for that sisters? What in the show? That was like,
sister.
You gotta be talking about the twins. No, is that what you're talking about?
no.
No?
Oh, it was Girlfriends. My bad.
My girlfriend.
I was about to say, we are living. That was totally off.
Sisters.
There's another one. We are family. I got all my sisters with me, except for one.
Did you put a lip plumper on
We
that?
are family.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
Come on, everybody, and sing.
Hey, hey.
We are family. Oh, that's that dance I've been trying to do.
Stop.
All right, y'all. Bye. Happy birthday to Lillian.